I guess the big question, right? I feel like if Hallie wins, the best that's going to happen with Hallie is like he might get the best player in the Pacers franchise. He may get the best player in or a top 10 player or something like that. How badly will the Shea Glaze get if the Thunder win?
I mean, people already saying he's better than Kobe, so
He not.
That was like that shit died quick. People said that shit.
That shit died quick.
It did.
No, it didn't.
I heard
People legit still think that.
which by the way is so crazy. How could you say that straight up? It's not even like Kobe Glaze. It's just like, come on now, bro. Come on. We don't right now. We have no evidence that because this is where you need talking points. People are saying could OKC be the new Thunder? Nothing about this. The new way the NBA is. Let's see if we can get a repeat champion first before we start claiming somebody's the new anything. And Boston had the best chance to do it. They had everything to do, and you saw how quickly that team has to be dismantled. So, and the same thing's going to happen to OKC.
Yeah, but they have a lot of ways to maintain their future, though.
they're not in the same position at all.
They're not in the same position as the Celtics. They're set up for future dominance.
They don't have to pay anyone for like legit another 3-4 years.
The only reason I'm going to say that I'm going to fight, even if they still have a lot of draft picks. They still have to do all, even if they don't have to pay anybody. The West is harder. If you think they can be this dominant again in the Western Conference, I will just disagree with you. I need to see it happen before.
But nothing changes with their team. They just get better because they get more.
Everybody else gets better too, Lonnie. It's not okay. Okay. So unless you're saying they're going to be the fucking hold on, Lonnie. Hold on. Unless you're telling me they're going to be the KD Warriors and be that dominant.
No, you started off saying that they're not going to be able to keep the team, which was not true. And then now you're saying, oh well, everyone's going to get better. Those are two separate things that you're saying.
I don't want us to get down the wrong path in this conversation. The important thing, having a flexible future doesn't just mean you have to capitalize on the draft picks, right? You can turn them into assets. You can do a whole lot of things with these resources. That's why I'm saying they're not the same as the Celtics. Once the Celtics team is gone, like they're fried, right? The Thunder have a lot of leverage and they have a lot of ways they can move. That's the only point that I'm making, which adds credence to them being that dynastic figure that we're used to seeing in the NBA team. I think it's very possible it could be them. And maybe not repeating, but I could see them winning another chip before this decade's over, if not two.
I agree with you on that, but if people are saying that they're set up for if anybody could have done it, the Celtics could have. Nuggets could have done it before them, and 2 years later, I understand that they have flexibility, but these things are going to happen, especially once they start winning the chip. Guess what? People who are 2 years away or a year away from their contract, they're going to be like, "Hey, bro, what's going on? I want to get paid. I want security." And there's going to be a lot of players like that.
I just told you that.
Right.
In fact, they don't have to pay anybody for another 3 years.
And even if they do, they can leverage those picks and those players to acquire better assets.
Like so I can name the contracts. They just signed Caruso this year for 4 years.
Caruso's not the problem. Aaron Williams not the problem.
I'm going down the list.
I'm looking at the list too, Lonnie. They're going to have to. They have one more year. Then you have to give Chet the max. You have to give Chet the max.
It's only in his second year.
This is his second year. I'm Lonnie. 2024, 2025. He's getting
not.
paid.
This is his third year.
This is his third year. Next year is the last year of his rookie deal. So guess what? This summer you have to pay Chet the max, or as close to the max you can get.
Random. Let's say we concede all of this, right? They got to pay all of these niggas. They got to do all of this stuff, right? Mm-hmm. What other teams in the West are equipped to drastically make their team get better in order to catch up to what's is a generational defense with a top 3 superstar in their team? What team in the West is capable of catching up?
It's not about what team. It's what OKC
is.
It is.
Let me finish, fellas, please. Once you pay Chet the max, you now have to start making decisions. Because guess what? The year Chet has one more year of guarantee. He's guaranteed that. After that, Casey Wallace has to get paid. Okay, Jalen Williams has to get paid.
They just paid Jalen Williams.
I'm looking right now. Show me the part where they just paid him. So guess what? Okay, you just paid Jalen Williams. You have to pay Chet. Now you have to make decisions because guess what? The year after Chet, Hartenstein has to. This last year of Hartenstein's contract, and guess what? They don't like going into the final year of their contract without any kind of security. They do this. Hartenstein and Dortz are ending the same year. They don't like going into the final year of their contract without any kind of security. They do this. Hartenstein and Dortz are ending the same year. the year after Chet contract ends. You have to pay all those people. And if you're giving them all top dollar money, you have to let people go. I understand that they have the salary, and you'd like to believe that Sam Presti will keep drafting people as great as this. But I'm just gonna say, based on what we've seen, especially since 2020, where we've not had a repeat champion since the KD Warriors, I need to see a team be that dominant. Could OKC win one in 2029? Fine, that's fine. That's 4 years from now.
But you're literally all right.
I don't understand how come this is so hard for me to say. I just need to see somebody do that. I understand that they're set up, but like we said, Chet's going to want to get paid. There's a reason why they're still like, oh, trade Chet and this to go get Giannis. There's a reason why that's out there, and they haven't come back and said anything. Like, there's a reason those things are out there.
Wait, so we're relying on speculatory rumors to make a basis to
no. I'm just relying on I'm relying on what I've seen in the NBA with what, even if, okay, Gabe, I'm not saying gets max money, but let's not sit here and pretend like Chet's gonna make fucking $15 million a year.
But they're already
not what
their cap space isn't bad right now as it is. And let's just go. They have to pay Chet after the 26-27 season.
They pay him the year before, Lonnie. They never wait until unless you're not really like that. They always pay you the year before your contract
ends. They pay him the year before. So they still have one. So they pay him after next season, correct? You don't have you can wait for Casey Wallace because he's still like the seventh, eighth man on the roster. So that's still 2 years until you have to think about paying Casey Wallace. With your boatload of draft picks, maybe you get someone to replace him. But that's still 2 years of Casey Wallace. You have 4 years of Caruso. You just signed Hardenstein to what was his extension this year? Like 3-4 years? So you have 3-4 years of Hardenstein. You have Shea. And then you still have 2 years. And then you have 2 years after. You have 1 year after this to pay Jalen Williams.
So next summer, you're gonna have to think about paying Lou Dort, Jalen Williams, Casey Wallace. Those three right off top. Sure, you can say they can, Lonnie, you can say they could wait. You act like those people, they're going to want to get paid too, bro. They're not just going to sit there and wait. Well, I'll just wait my turn. They're going to want to get paid. The same thing happened to the Warriors.
Just go to a new team just like that.
Nobody's saying they can magically go. But guess what? If you have to pay Lou Dort, you have to pay Casey Wallace, and you have to pay, I'm looking for Hardenstein extension. I can't find it right now, but I'm looking. Yeah, and then you have to pay Jalen Williams all at the same time. They're all on the same contract.
They signed.
Why is it out of the realm of possibility that what's been proven as the best front office in the NBA thus far is going to make good decisions when it comes to paying their players and acquiring assets for the players they can't pay? Like why are we automatically going into this in the mentality that they didn't form this team that they have in the first place?
Oh. It's not a minute.
They're the most dominant team in the NBA, and they built it. They didn't luck into this by trading a bunch of players or making crazy moves or doing any of this stuff.
I'm not
saying forgetting the fact that next year they're going to have Nikola Topic back, who for most of the last season was the number 2 draft prospect until he tore his ACL.
Okay, Lonnie, how are you? So you're projecting that Nikola Topic is going to be this great player coming off of ACL. That's what you're projecting now.
Great. He just has to be able to be like the 8th or 9th man on the roster.
Nobody, I don't understand why.
I'm not under Nikola Topic. Random. I just want you to meet me in the middle, bro.
I agree. I agree that they're the best front office in the NBA. But just because they're the best, the Eagles have had the best front office since 2017 when they beat the Patriots. They've only won the Super Bowl twice. Y'all act like
they've been there multiple times though. They've been a successful franchise.
I agree.
You're looking at success and saying that because they're not winning every single time that they're not.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's what you just said.
No, I'm not saying that. Y'all are talking.
You just said they were a good franchise since 2017 and they only won. What is that insinuating?
What I'm trying to say is, you are trying to maximize this, but the same thing when the Eagles started going down is because they had to start paying people. They finally got back to where they were. So guess what? When they were bad, they paid Carson Wentz $100 million. That shit didn't work. Okay, just because you're great, just because you're a great front office. First things first, doesn't mean that it's always going to work. Nick, if we're gonna throw all of our baskets in Nikola Topic, none of us have. I can't speak for you. I haven't seen him play basketball. I haven't seen him play basketball. Sure, he's a number 2 overall prospect because number 2 overall prospects work out all the fucking time, right? Like that's what we're doing, especially off of injury.
We're talking
hold
about
on, random. Let me try to
hold on, Riddell. When we're talking about their future, we have to put everything into perspective. So they still have. So in terms of everything that they have towards success, they have a great roster right now. Correct. They have their cap space is one. They have one of the best cap space situations in the league. That's another plus. They have multiple draft picks or some of the most draft picks in the league. That's another plus. And then also their prospects that aren't even playing right now are highly touted and also have a lot of potential. I'm not saying that, Nicole Top's going to be a great player. I'm saying that the number 2 prospect who that they have burning on their bench, who a lot of people would just have, who be starting and getting a lot of minutes on a lot of other teams right now.
I'm gonna let Gabe go, but I just want to say one thing. Random, I don't care about Nikola Topic. Like,
no, I'm just saying, like, they have cap space. They have.
I got you.
They have a roster. They have cap space. They have a roster. They have draft picks, and they have prospects on their team.
I got you, Random. I want you, me and you, Random. Look at where I'm coming from, right? I don't give a fuck about Nikola Topic. I'm not gonna lie, right? What I want you to get out of the mindset of doing is you're basically prescribing front office ineptitude when they haven't shown it for the past decade. Whether they have to, Random, just stay with me.
I got you.
Whether they gotta pay niggas, move niggas, draft niggas, do whatever they gotta do. If there's any front organization that I trust to make the right moves and make some shit shake and happen, it's the fucking Thunder, bro. Simple. I just don't want you to prescribe that they're gonna automatically, because they have to pay niggas, their team's just done. Maybe for a year, maybe or 2, they're gonna bounce back, bro. They have a good front office. They have hella assets. They know what they're doing, my nigga.
I agree, and this is the part where I said you're just gonna have to show me with the new NBA, and then people attacked me for that. Y'all got mad at me for that. When I'm just going off what, and I understand. Obviously, I'm just using that. I'm not saying you're mad, okay? I'm just saying based on what I've seen, especially off recent history, where I saw teams who we thought were poised for great success, were poised to win multiple things and all that. Things change really quickly in the NBA, and I understand that you're saying all this, but guess what? Three of their 4 guys who they know can help them win this championship are going to be up at the exact same time. 3 of them, Lou Dort, until I find the Harnessy stuff, and Lou Dort, Jalen Williams, and Casey Wallace. I understand that they develop well and all that, and Casey Wallace is expendable. But guess what? Until you find the person who can develop, who can replace Casey Wallace, I'm just not going to assume that. I'm just not going to assume that matters. And sure, there'll be some, but things happen. I understand how come we're just glazing over the fact that stuff's going to happen. When Casey Wallace leaves, what if they can't find the one? Y'all just basically, y'all are, hold on.
Will be okay with taking a hit.
Hold on. This is what I'm going to say, and I'll be quiet. Y'all are attacking me. Y'all are attacking me for saying, hold on, we don't know if this is set. I'm just saying, hold on, we don't know if this is absolutely set. Meanwhile, y'all are doing the exact same thing I'm doing, just on the other side of the fence. And all I've said is I just want I want to see it before I say it's going to happen.
Random and
that's
Gabe,
all I'm
Gabe,
saying.
I promise I'm gonna let you go, Gabe.
You good, bro? Take your time, nigga.
And Random, and the reason why we're on this other side is because they have a proven history of being able to make competitive teams. Now they experimented with the Paul George, Melo, but outside of that, they've had competent teams. They went through a little rebuild process. They have a fucking generational defense, and they have one of the best offensive players in the NBA right now. They know what they're doing. 10 years ago, niggas had KD, Russ, Harden. Niggas had a good fucking team. Niggas went to the finals. Niggas have done well. Niggas have seen multiple conference finals. They're a well-oiled engine. So what I'm saying is there's a basis for us believing in them. There is no basis for you not believing in them. There's none.
And also, you saying they have to pay people. They can literally afford to pay people. They can afford it.
They can afford to pay the whole team.
They cannot.
Yes, they can. Yes, they can.
No, they can't. Y'all are acting like.
They have
Hold on. No, this is where I'm getting mad at y'all.
Look at their.
Hold
on.
No. Y'all just gonna act like, oh, OKC's giving me this contract. I'm gonna take it. When the Bulls can come up and offer
their cap space, Random, they can do it.
Look at it. Act like
and they got birds right.
I don't understand how y'all just gonna act like cap to pay money. I'm gonna take that.
Let's pause.
I don't understand how y'all just gonna act like that.
Random.
Looking at the numbers,
Ronnie,
Random.
Let Gabe get his stuff off.
Okay.
Go ahead, Gabe.
So first, I don't know how much money you think somebody like Casey Wallace will go for. He's an MLE player. He's not gonna go for that much. Chet Holmgren is gonna be a free agent after. Let me see, where is it? After next season, he'll go up for a free agency, but they'll have his bird right, so they can go over the cap for him. Same for Shea. Same for J-Dub. All three of them. In 2027, when they're all free agents, they're gonna have $150 million in cap space. Isaiah Hartenstein is gonna be a free agent at the same time. He might not be the same. They could keep him. Chet is gonna still be on the team. We don't know what Nikola Topic is gonna be. Shea, obviously, he's gonna go for a lot of money. That's Shea. That's fine. Like and on top of that, let me think. We're acting like these, like even if they don't want to keep Case and Wallace, Lou Dort, acting like they can't trade them before what you call it. Their contracts are up. Why are we acting like they're not good enough players to bring you back good players on the other end and then expand on your draft picks because their draft picks aren't that good.
Or they
can trade those draft picks.
Exactly, Gabe. The players and the picks and leverage.
Like these players not only do these players not go for that much money, they can trade them and get back good players. Like we're acting like the OKC Thunder are stuck. They have the 20.
That's first things first. Y'all putting words in. I never said they were stuck.
That's what
all I said.
That's the way you're talking.
The way you're talking is like they're
so now we're just gonna. Oh, the way you're talking. I never fucking said that. Of course, did I say the OKC Thunder are going to be trash? I never fucking said that.
No, you didn't say that.
You're sowing seeds of doubt, though, Random. You're sowing seeds of doubt for no reason.
Literally no reason.
Oh my God, bro. The fact that y'all are okay, let's just say they're gonna have $150 million. Y'all are acting like Casey Wallace is gonna take the fucking money that fucking OKC is gonna give him, no matter what contract that is. If Charlotte walks up and says, "Well, we fucking need you. Here's more money,"
That's
and he's gonna take that. And
okay.
I don't know
if Jalen goes. So say they have 150, right? Jalen,
what's wrong with
y'all? Got it. I'm wrong.
Let him get it.
It's like
y'all got it. I'm wrong.
Random, get your shit off.
Nah, we good.
Random, get your shit off.
Because now I'm starting to get mad for no reason, so I'm just dropping it. Y'all got it. I'm wrong. I don't know basketball.
Random, come on.
No, y'all got it.
Random, come on.
Case and Wallace isn't the end all be all to the Thunder.
I never said that.
But you're acting like it. You're acting like it.
No, I'm not. I just using him as an example.
Why is he the example though?
Okay, because he's just the first one. Who did you want me to pick? Lou Dort? Would that make you feel better, or Chet?
No.
At one point, this is what's going to happen. At one point, Shea's making max money.
Yes.
Chet Holmgren is going to be making a lot of money.
Yes.
Jalen Williams is going to be making damn near max money because if OKC doesn't give him the money, OKC doesn't give him the max, somebody else will. And I understand they can go over the bird rights. They still have the aprons, and once you go over certain aprons in the NBA, they limit what you can do as a team. This is not something that I'm just making up. Y'all see it.
I don't even think they're in the first apron.
So Random, I have a question. If they can't play Lou Dort or Casey Wallace, they still have like 7 first-round picks. They can't.
They're not even in the first apron right now. My fault.
Package Lou Dort and Casey Wallace and like 3 first-round picks for some other pieces. They can't just retool.
They can't make no crazy packages, my nigga.
Of course, they can make crazy packages.
So what's the problem with the team then?
Because you don't know what the package is back. If you go get, for instance, hold on. Let's just say this right now. Okay. Then let me give you guys an example. Right now, they can go get Giannis if they want right now. But guess what?
What are you getting back?
It's just an example. It's just an example. Okay, before y'all jump down my throat, it's just an example. They can go get Giannis right now. Giannis is making the supermax. Guess what? Shea is also making the supermax. They're gonna be over the first apron. They're going to be.
So guess what? If you have Giannis, when Chet's contract is up, trade his ass.
Chet's
because then you don't need Chet if you have Giannis.
Chet's probably going in the deal.
Yes, you do, but...
Chet's probably going in the deal to go get Giannis.
I'm getting rid of J-Dub if we have Giannis. I'm not taking.
I would too, but I don't think the other team.
That's besides the point. But continue.
But we don't. All I'm saying, we don't know what that package will be back. We don't know how much money that package is. We don't know. I'm just going off what it is. And all I've said, and I will say it again, and this is the last thing I'll say, and I'll be quiet. I need OKC to show me again before I'm this confident in them being I'm going to say Super Bowl, an NBA champion again, because we've seen teams that are just as comparable to them. Well, the Celtics. Anybody after the Celtics won last year would have told me that they're going to win again.
Yeah.
And I understand it's not the same, but that team was dominant. That team could go deep. They shoot what they historically with how they shot threes, absolutely. But that team, you were poised. Everybody thought, okay, they you including Lonnie could be like, oh, they could go back to back. They could win multiple championships, and now the Celtics are done because things change. I understand the cap goes up, but all these people gonna want money. Chet's gonna want the most money he can make. Same thing with Jalen Williams. Same thing with Case and Wallace. If he can't get it there, he'll get it somewhere. I understand that they have this thing of success, but I am just holding my break, saying I'm not assuming that they're gonna run off this run of championships when we haven't seen teams since this new CBA came in and the Aprons came in, and we haven't seen a team be able to constantly do that. So I'm just holding.
Yeah,
on,
but the difference between those teams and the Thunder is that the year after they won the chip, the first year I thought a repeat champion was gonna happen was with the Nuggets.
That's what I thought also.
The Nuggets that same year they lost KCP and Bruce Brown. Those are two.
They lost KCP the year afterwards. They lost Bruce Brown first, but they replaced him. They replaced him with Christian Braun.
Yeah, but the point I'm making is they lost two elite level rotation players that year, which changed the fact that which changed my opinion thinking that they'll go back to back. The Celtics this year, Tatum tore his Achilles and he just played worse. So the Thunder don't have that problem. They're gonna keep the same rotation damn near. Obviously, we're hoping in health because even this year they weren't even that healthy and they were still extremely dominant. Out of the last 2 years that people thought people were gonna repeat, they'll have the most what's the word I'm looking for? Continuation, I guess, will be with the same team.
The continuity.
Continuity, yeah.
Brandon, I understand the kind of I understand you like to be cautious on certain things until they're proven. I'm somewhat that way, but I do think if there's enough context and information, you can potentially see a trend before it starts. I do think the Thunder have everything they need to potentially be a dynasty in this new era because of everything that was said. However, I do think some of the things that you always have to bring up, which kind of prevents dynasties, Gabe kind of mentioned some of them, is injuries, of course. You never know if injuries may play a factor when it comes, especially going into the playoffs. And Chet does have injury history, so you always have to take that into consideration. And whether or not other teams around the NBA will be able to tool up to compete with the Thunder.
Yes.
Now, this year, the Thunder dominated the Timberwolves and Grizzlies, but it was a nail biter with the Nuggets. So the Nuggets could retool and compete next year. Kevin Durant, there's speculation that he may go to the Timberwolves. That could happen. It could make things interesting. Giannis could go to a team and change things up, especially if he goes to a Western team. There's some hints that he may try to go to the Warriors. Who knows? The Thunder, I don't think, are so good compared to like the Warriors dynasty, which added Kevin Durant, which even made them so dominant that nobody even competed against them, unless it was the LeBron Cavaliers with Kyrie and Kevin Love. I don't think the Thunder are so good to the point where like there's no chance any team will beat them moving forward. And I think that is the biggest equation because I don't know. I like J-Dub. His game does not scream to me like perennial second option superstar that cannot be taken advantage of in a playoff series. Chet has more growing to do. Although he's a great defensive option, he's still a very smaller guy, and he doesn't create enough plays as a big man as like a true superstar that people speculate Chet to be. The only guarantee on the team is Shea, and then depth and defense. So this team could definitely, compared to other teams, even though they have all the tools and everything, has a lower ceiling compared to some of the other bona fide super team dynasties. But I get the confidence, I get the worry, but overall they do have a chance. Like 100%, the Thunder have a chance to really become a dynasty for sure.
Oh shit!
I'm just being cautious.
Even then,
I
I think the gap between the Thunder and the whole Western Conference is so big. I don't think.
No, West.
I agree.
The West is stacked, but just to wrap it up, the difference between the Celtics and the Thunder is that like the Celtics knew that they knew ahead of time that they had like 2 years before they had to break it up. OKC has at least 4 before they even have to start paying people. So it's like they have a much bigger window.
They literally have to pay. Never mind.
They got. I think
They have to start paying people next year, but okay, it's fine.
Well,
Yeah, and they have the cap space before they go over the cap.
yeah, because Shea won't.
Yeah,
So
I'm saying
Shea, they
before
have to
go-
pay Shea
before they-
28. That's the
before they
biggest.
get
That's the
year,
biggest
second
hit, right?
year, and it's going to be like
Exactly. You're right. Which is
years.
what I'm saying. Shea won't have to get paid until 28. Hartenstein won't have to get paid until the year after. Dort, he's expendable. Isaiah Joe is expendable, but he's also until 28. Chet is until 27. Aaron Wiggins is Caruso is under contract until 2030. Aaron Wiggins until 2030. Who else? Cason Wallace is until 28. So it's like they still got a good amount of time. And these players are all under team options as well. I feel like they're stuck with him. If they want to let him walk, they could just let them walk and won't lose, and they'll get more money back.
And
They're sign better players.
And they have draft capital. Like they're fine.
They're literally in the perfect situation
in multiple
with having such a big gap between them and everybody else in the West. I don't see what you're like. I get the concern, Randall, but I don't at the same time.
If you were saying this like 2 years from now, or like if you were saying this like the end of next year, okay, or like 2 years from now, okay, but like it's way too early to start freaking out when they have like a good 2-3 year window before they even have to.
I wasn't freaking
worry
out.
about
I don't think
No, it wasn't
I wasn't
freaking out.
not at all.
They
I just
they're not
voiced
in
my
trouble for it.
concerns.
They don't have to worry about even going over the cap really like that for another like 3 years.
And we don't even know if they're gonna make a crazy move to make themselves better. So it's like the same thing you can say about other teams getting better. They could do the same thing.
I agree. Miles can tell you when the first moment once Giannis said, I said, go get Giannis. Go get Giannis and rule the league for as long as you can.
I'll stop watching the product. I swear to God.
It's fine.
I'm there for it, but I don't think that's possible.
To go get Giannis?
Mm-mm.
How is it not possible? They have the capital and the players to go get Giannis.
Yeah, but I don't think what do you call it? It's not like not possible, not because they're not their team. Like obviously they can do it, right? I just don't think the Thunder is a team that he's gonna go to. Like, I think they won't listen to the Thunder. I don't think
Giannis wants to go to the Thunder either.
Yeah, I don't see that as a destination.
Like they're not helping at the same time.
Yeah, I think because they did it with KD with the Nets, and KD didn't do nothing for the Nets, and they found a way to make it work to send him to Phoenix. Like Giannis, literally a great ambassador for the team. He's won them a championship. They'll try to take care of him.
Yeah, but like I said, I don't think Giannis.
But I don't think Giannis wants to go to the Thunder. Is what I'm saying. Obviously, I don't know, but I don't think that's it.
No, for sure. You never know what he might want to do, but the difference between Giannis and at the very least the KD and LeBron situation is Giannis already won a ring. He doesn't really have to prove anything. So he just wants to be on a competitive team. And I do think he has that kind of competitive spirit to want to go to a team that's really good, but I don't want to stack the deck and just like win every year.
Yeah, the rumors are like the Heat, maybe, but
it was the Heat.
The Heat can't afford
New York
them.
Team.
The Heat can't afford them. They don't have the assets to go get Giannis. Because remember, you also have to match contracts. So you're going to trade Bam.
Yeah, but you're
going to trade Bam and
yes.
So then you're
multiple players.
The Heat are still just back to where they were
with a better player.
Yeah, they have a better foundation for sure.
And Giannis is 31. Like they're just in this. They have a better top end player, but they're stuck at the same exact place. Giannis in Miami is not beating. You think Giannis in Miami is beating the Pacers or the Knicks right now?
So Giannis with a better defensive team around him can beat the Pacers. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean Giannis is that good. I will say, and he could build a team that compensates. No,
I wouldn't want to play in the Bucks this year. Like Lillard, like Dame just tore his Achilles, so he's not going to be back till the end of the season. Brook Lopez has been on his last legs. Your second best scorer is going to be Kyle Kuzma, who's inconsistent as hell.
Okay, other than Tyler Hero,
besides Giannis is Bobby Portis.
Other than Tyler Hero, who else on the Heat team are you poised in that is not going in the trade for Giannis?
I'm not saying the Heat are going to be that great. I'm not saying the Heat are that great of an option for like next year. I'm just saying I wouldn't want to be in the Bucks because the Bucks are going to be even worse next year because they're not going to have anybody.
Giannis goes to Miami. It's just the same Bucks situation except in a warmer climate. That's all it is.
He loves Miami though.
It's the same situation because Bam has to go.
Why? Tyler Hero could go, Andrew Wiggins could go, Terry Rozier could go, and 2 picks.
Okay, so you're telling me Bam and Giannis is good enough to beat the Pacers and whoever else they have left?
Yes.
That'd be an elite fucking defense, nigga.
Bam, Khalil Ware in the back.
Okay,
that would be nasty.
Who's guarding? Who are they? Who are their
Davion
guards?
Mitchell.
Davion Mitchell,
defender.
demon on defense. I'm not gonna lie.
So Giannis has to score 60 for them to win games.
No. Tyler, wait, did you put Tyler Hero in the trade?
Yes, Tyler Hero could go.
So Davion,
You get. Oh my God, bro! That Giannis is a elite level player, bro. He can make up what Tyler Hero was doing on offense and more.
The Heat had trouble scoring with Tyler Hero and Bam.
Yeah,
Yep.
and Giannis is a better scorer.
Yeah, Giannis is better than Tyler Hero.
But y'all are actually who fill out the rest of their roster then.
Hold on, random. Before you go crazy, don't forget that they have Eric Spoelstra, who can bring the best out of a lot of role players. They've been doing that for years. So when it comes to the Heat, I'm not as concerned in terms of like not being able to find scoring options.
Duncan Robinson, all right, bro.
A shooter?
Duncan Robinson,
we a good shooter.
Come on, bro.
A shooter?
He's going to be the only shooter you have.
Maybe I'm going to shoot.
Do they not have
they still got Jaime unless you put him in the trade.
I hate the bum.
Yeah,
Hey,
I mean, he might
me
play
and Jaime
better
went to
off
the same
of
high school. Chill out on
off
Jaime,
of
all right?
Giannis.
Leave him out of this. Me and Jaime went to the same high school. I'm pulling
Shout out
for him.
Jaime, man.
I'm just saying, like with what they're gonna have to give up in the trade, because remember you have to match salaries. So either Tyler Hero or Bam is gone.
Yeah,
in the
Tyler
Giannis
Hero,
trade.
Andrew Wiggins, Terry Rozier is making hella bread.
I forgot.
They
not the Heat. I think the Pistons can make a move for Giannis. They have the draft picks and the prospects.
Why would he want to go to Detroit?
And even if you do trade Bam, you still have the chance. You have Khalil Ware to what do you call it?
Once again,
Hey, Cunningham not all NBA this year?
Once again, why would he want to go to Detroit instead of Miami?
Because Detroit has an all NBA player.
They have a better team.
What are you talking about?
Lonnie, he also has to live in Detroit.
True. Nobody wants to live in Detroit.
Like just because they're better doesn't mean anything.
You know what, Random? You're correct. He should just go to the Warriors.
If Giannis is smart,
if you argue against the Warriors,
if he's smart, he doesn't leave the East.
The rumored teams are the Warriors, the Heat.
Talking basketball, we're talking about 2 all NBA players joining together. You're like,
Lonnie, you know the other stuff matters too.
Yeah, that's why the Warriors are the perfect destination.
How do I sound dumb as hell when we know niggas don't go? Giannis has options. It's not like he's a bench player.
I'm just talking basketball. I'm saying, the Pistons have the draft picks and the capital. He's like, but he doesn't want.
And guess what? Name me the last time a big free agent or a big player.
What's the last time they had the draft picks and the
name me the last time where Detroit had draft capital of any kind where they got a big player with it.
When's the last time
Blake Griffin. I can answer. It's Blake Griffin.
When's the last time they actually went for
and he went there to die.
MVP candidate.
He went there to
die. Like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Okay, so be on my side and manifest Giannis going to the Warriors.
If Giannis is smart, he doesn't leave the East.
Why?
The East is so.
Why are you putting so much stipulation?
So wait, if the East, you think the East is that easy, what's wrong with him going to the Heat?
He won't be. Giannis on the Heat. Okay, maybe he barely beats the Pistons. He does, and in my opinion,
how?
Jaden, I agree that was the best year of Blake Griffin's career, but yeah, he went there to die.
What did they do? What did the Pistons do?
No,
what did the Pistons do?
Random. I got a legit.
They lost in the first round. Oh God, the best year of his career. It really worked out for the Pistons.
Random. Hold on. I got a legit question for you, Random. So you're telling me you don't want Giannis to go to the West? You don't want Giannis to go to the Heat. You don't want Giannis to go to the Pistons.
You want that nigga to stay
home. Where do you
want
Giannis to go?
He want that nigga to stay home
with the torn Achilles Dame, Kyle Kuzma,
y'all are
who sometimes scores 0 points in a game.
Y'all are
No,
just
I
putting
need you to
shit
answer
on-
But
the
Random, you
question.
shooting down every option.
Yeah,
niggas
no,
is
no,
giving you.
No,
Answer the
no,
question.
no. Okay, look.
Where's he
if you-
You
going?
could just be gaslighting. I swear.
I'm not gaslighting. Y'all, you're legit about to make me start fucking cussing.
Like, what team is a good
But you're
fit?
just
That's
adding
possible.
shit onto my. You're just adding stuff onto my head, and you're talking about me gaslighting.
Huh.
All I
Tell
said
us
is that
the
I don't.
team.
Okay, let me say this. Let me say this first. Answer your question. I don't care where he goes. He could go to the West. It's just harder. Okay, but if he goes to Miami, they are not. So you're telling me Giannis in Miami Giannis in Miami is going to the NBA Finals. They're going through.
No, but it's better than the Bucks.
That's great. They end up in the same spot,
That's the
Lonnie,
point.
watching the NBA Finals, losing in the first round again. Nothing changes.
So
if
what?
he goes
Okay,
to
so then
Miami.
what team in the East other than the Cavs and the Celtics did he go to? That's not gonna.
If he can go the Cavs, I'd fucking make it work if I could go the Cavs.
Jesus.
Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
He said other than the Cavs and Celtics.
I don't know. I don't know like that. But all I'm saying, because if I was Giannis, I would attempt to avoid the West as much as I could. But if the Warriors are the best spot for me to go,
the Celtics, Tatum's not playing next year. Yeah, I
The
know y'all don't think the Cavs are even real. A real team.
the Celtics, even right now, are better than Giannis on the Heat. The Celtics right now, without Tatum,
Jalen Brown led offense is better
You
than the
are,
Heat.
yeah, Random. You lying like shit,
nigga.
bro.
So
Well, Giannis?
Like my boy Jalen.
You lying,
No.
bro.
Jalen Brown led offense.
who's okay? They have first things first. I don't understand how we're just skipping over this. In order for Giannis to go to the Heat, they have to lose one of their two best offensive players on an offense that was weak last year.
Gaining a
We've been-
drastically
we've been-
better
We've been
offensive player.
we've been a weak offense for like the last 5 years, and we've still been able to find success in the playoffs. So one, I don't care for myself, and two, the drastic amount of betterness that Giannis brings to our team, regardless of what we lose.
And they still lose in the first round.
But
Still
you don't
losing
know
the
that.
first round.
You don't know that. You don't know that. First of all,
How?
If you-
Okay, and then you don't know that they're going to go past that either. Why are you?
I don't know that neither. But
But he's
you
not
haven't.
prescribing that, Random. That's the difference.
I
You're
don't.
prescribing that. He's not.
Because I'm looking. Obviously I don't know the Miami Heat's roster top to bottom, but in
All I'm
order to
asking
get
you-
Giannis, the amount of assets you're going to have to give up are going to negate the trade. Just same way like when Carmelo went to the Knicks, it's going to be the exact same thing.
Anthony compared to Giannis, bro.
Nigga, I'm just comparing the situation, not the player. I'm comparing the situation. When
Yeah, but
Carmelo
the
went to
player-
the Knicks,
context.
they gave up. Okay, why did Carmelo to the Knicks not work? They gave up so much of what made the Knicks so appealing to Carmelo
and Melo-
that it caught.
What did the Knicks do before Carmelo? What did the Knicks do before Carmelo?
Oh my God, you guys keep trying to do this.
No,
The
I know
amount
the
of
answer, but what did the Knicks do before Carmelo?
I don't know, and I don't care
Man,
because
who
you guys
said-
are trying to listen to me, please, God, just listen.
We listen.
Just
Bro, we listen.
the amount, the assets they're going to have to give up is going to negate all the offensive impact that Giannis is going to bring to the Heat. They're not.
How?
They do not have the offensive. Giannis cannot do everything. He cannot.
But the players you're going to give up, he can make up that loss.
Yeah, Miles. So what
So
happened?
he's gonna. So he's gonna be their passer. He's gonna be their
Yes,
leading
he's doing that
scorer.
for the Bucks
He's gonna be their
now.
Yeah,
He's doing
and
that
they
for the
lost
Bucks
in the
now.
first round. They weren't good.
Because
hurt.
the team was ass, not
The
because of
team
Giannis.
sucks.
I'm not blaming Giannis. I'm blaming the team situation. They weren't good.
And the
That's
Heat
what I'm
have a
trying to
better-
tell you.
If
The
he
team
goes,
situation doesn't change
And-
just
and
because
what
you
yes,
Gabe
it does.
is
Yes, it
saying-
does. It literally
What
does.
Gabe
It
is
literally
saying
does.
is
It literally
the
does.
Heat
It
have a
literally
better
does. It literally
skeleton
does.
as a team.
It literally does.
and they lose in the
Because
first
one-
round. They
Why?
lose in
If
the
they're
first
better?
round.
Again and again and again.
all right, wait.
The team-
Hold
the
on,
team
Gabe.
concept
Hold on,
does
because
change for
he
one.
said the
Nah,
Carmelo.
look at
He
nah,
said the
'cause
Carmelo-
y'all keep
All
going
All
at
I
it. Let
did
him
was
get it
compare the
off.
For one.
This is why we can't talk.
Look,
Y'all focus on different things. What I'm trying to tell you, it's
No,
not
we're
about
not.
the player
I'm
or
not.
what the Knicks were
I'm
doing.
not. I'm about to break you down the
No,
team
you're not,
scenario.
because you're not listening. Go ahead, and I'll
Right.
fucking explain it to you again. Because for some reason, y'all niggas don't want to listen.
No, wait.
Y'all niggas don't want to listen.
I'm about to break
Why
down.
you talking
I'm
about
I'm about to break down to you why the
Hold
Heat
on,
is a
because
better
he said-
situation for
Lonnie, let
Giannis
Gabe
than the
go.
Bucks.
Let Gabe go. Let Gabe
Yeah,
go.
let them go out. Lonnie, let them get.
I'm about to explain why the Heat situation is different, and I think why it's better than the Bucks. One,
I
the
never
Bucks don't
said
have.
it better than the Bucks. It's just that nothing changes.
Bro, listen to me. Why it's a better situation than the Bucks, not the Heat being better than the Bucks. Listen, like how you're asking me, please. One, that not only did Giannis have to carry the Bucks offense in the playoffs while Dame was hurt, they had an atrocious defensive personnel around them. Giannis isn't that good of a defender anymore to be able to carry both sides of the ball and have elite level output on offense and have to come back on defense. At least the Heat, yes, you're right. We don't have that high level offense. but at least we have elite level defensive personnel around them that's gonna be able to make it up, even if we trade Bam. Because we have Davion Mitchell as a POA, we have Kel'el Ware as a rim protector in the back that can develop into something great. We have Andrew Wiggins can still be on the team. Like Haywood Highsmith is still on the team. He's a great perimeter defender. Like, bro, the Bucks literally have worse offensive personnel going into next year and defensive personnel. They're just a worse personnel team. It's gonna be worse. At least that he have something on defense that's gonna be able to have Giannis get elite level offensive output. He could pass, he could score, he could do all that. That's why he's an elite level offensive player. I don't understand why that's so hard to comprehend.
I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is
you literally are.
No,
okay.
Once again, because you're trying to say I'll literally break. Okay, Gabe, I'll literally break it down for you too.
This is gonna be the same shit.
The assets that they're going to lose is going to negate that. Giannis is going to have to score 35 again. He's basically going to have to be Jokic.
He's been averaging 30 for 3 years.
And they've done nothing. His team has done nothing. And the same thing, he can average 30 next year on the Heat, and they will do nothing. They will still lose in the first round. I don't understand. I don't understand why you guys.
My second problem is you have no basis to go off of this, but just how you feel. You haven't told me anything as to why they'll lose to the Pacers, why they'll lose to the Pistons, why they'll lose to a Celtics team that's not going to be as good as it was this year. You're not going to tell me anything how the Knicks can stop them. The only team that you're going to have to be able to tell me is the Cavs. What team can we logistically lose to? Please tell me.
They will
tell me.
Okay. They will lose because guess what, Gabe? Unless Giannis is scoring 60 a fucking game in the playoffs, the other players.
Go ahead.
Please stop. And so you listen to me because you want me to answer, and now you're cutting me off. So pick it up. Choose one. What's this? Okay, because that's what I'm trying. Tell me what the starting lineup for the Heat is next year with Giannis in the lineup. Davion Mitchell and Bam or Tyler Hero, because guess what? They still have to score. They will not be able to keep up with how much the Pacers run. And Giannis, unless Giannis is going to be scoring 35, 15 rebounds, and 12 assists a night.
It could be if you trade Giannis, if you trade Bam, it could be Davion, Tyler, Haywood Highsmith, Giannis, and Kel'el Ware.
And they're getting outscored all the time. That's what they don't have enough offense. They do not have enough offense to compete with the Pacers. Do they? Are we saying that they do right now? That's what we're talking about. That Heat team.
No, but they have the defense to be able to slow it down.
They will not be able to make shots enough. We'll be sitting there wondering how come.
I watched Giannis be a layup line to the rim, average 35 on him. Tyler Hero had an up year on offense. Like, I don't understand. You're right, the offense won't be that good, but you acting like the Pacers an elite level defense and stop everybody.
I never said they're elite level, but we'll be sitting here at the end of the season and we'll be saying
like that's a far gone conclusion that the Heat can beat the Pacers with Giannis.
I give up because I give up because we're just acting like the Heat are. The Heat will be better, but their problems with what they have this year will still be the same with Giannis on the team next year. They won't be able to score.
We don't have an elite level offensive player on our team this year. If we get Giannis, we'll have one.
And you're losing an offensive player. You're losing an offensive player who either Bam or Tyler.
Are either of them better offensively than Giannis?
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not. Listen, fucking goddamn it! You are losing an offensive player who will supplement, who will help Giannis on offense. That's what you're losing. I understand Giannis is better than both of them combined, but you need that offense to help the Miami Heat score. How is that so fucking hard for both of you to understand? They will not have the offensive firepower to keep up.
You'll have the other star. You'll have the other.
Giannis cannot score 60 a game in the playoffs. He cannot do that. Nobody ever has. What the fuck are we doing? What are we doing?
I don't know what defense in the East you think is going to have to make Giannis score 60. What defense? What defense? He hasn't been able to answer that question. He acting like Giannis, like he hasn't given me no. Everything that he said is based off of his emotions, right? This is what we don't do, guys, when we talk about basketball. You don't base your opinions on players and teams off of your emotion, right? You go down and you look at the personnel. One, I don't see how anybody in this, and the 10 people in here and anybody else in the world that thinks this, I don't see how y'all think the Bucks going into next year is a better situation than the Heat, right? They don't have any offense or any defense, right?
I literally never said the Bucks are a better situation. All I said is that Giannis going to the Heat.
Again, random. I'm gonna just let me finish. You weren't here what I was saying, right? So I was talking before you came back and put your headphones on. One, right? Two. Well, no, we don't. We don't have to give up so much because we don't have a lot anyways. We again, even in the past, we found success with a little, right? Giannis is gonna be damn near the best player we've not damn near. He's gonna be the best player, right? This doesn't matter, but I'm just talking at this point. Giannis gonna be the best player we've had, offensive player we've had since LeBron James on our team, right? Obviously, you can pick your poison. If you wanna trade the assets to have the best level offense you possibly can, you trade Bam, right? You're still gonna have good defensive personnel around him, right? So where it's gonna be sometimes gonna be able to make up for the offense, which he have shown you guys that for years, right? For years, we haven't had a good offense. Even when we made the finals, that last 2 times we made it, we didn't have a good offense, right? So that's for one. For two, if you wanna trade Tyler Hero and up the defense with Bam, we're gonna have one of the best defenses in the NBA with one of the best offensive players in the league. Like I don't understand why that's and for two, I need to hear a real reason other than we're losing the first round. So what team could beat us and why? Why would they beat us?
Once again, it doesn't matter what team. You do not, besides Giannis and whatever other player, that is not, those 2 players by themselves, in my opinion, are not good enough when you have, in my opinion, all the other players around them are not good enough to be offensively trusted. They're not good enough offensively for me to trust them. They're not. I don't understand that. And guess Giannis is making the supermax. You have to match the salary. So you're going to lose also defensive pieces to make that work. Nobody was counting on Andrew Wiggins offensively in the playoffs. And guess what? You also need to score. Just because you can defend does not mean that you also need to score. And they're not besides Giannis and even Bam are here, even though the Pacers will definitely have a matchup for Tyler Hero. They'll throw different bodies at him to stop him from scoring. They also have the same thing if you put in Duncan Robinson. They have a guy for him too. And also Tyler Hero is stopping nobody off on the defensive side of the ball. If he's the one that you're keeping, that's fine. The Knicks will not be able to score enough. Yeah, I feel like you are underestimating the amount of offensive burden Giannis will have if he's on the Heat. They just cannot score enough offensively to make that work. And that's why I'm saying he's going to end up on the exact same situation he was just in. I never said that the Bucks are a better situation than Miami. They're not. That's why the rumors about him leaving are true. But for you to tell me that he's going to go to Miami, besides all the assets they're going to give up, and you're telling me that this team could make. Sure, guess we could always count on the Jimmy Butler super runs to the finals, which are the anomaly instead of what actually happens. Sure, we can count on that, and then just going to go to the finals. And what happened to those Miami teams when they went to the finals? They were just whooped by a better team because nobody else could score besides Jimmy Butler. That's what's going to happen with Giannis on that same team. The exact same thing.
My question to you, Random, though, because obviously I do not have a dog in the fight. Ultimately, I do not want Giannis. I do not want Giannis to go to the Heat because I want him to go to the Warriors. Complete biased. I don't care. But when it comes down to this question, though, Random, even though I understand the idea that he's going to be their main primary offensive focus, and you brought up the case that when they went to the finals, they couldn't compete. Sure. But, I mean, at the end of the day, they still were very successful with a player that's way less skilled offensively and defensively and overall with Jimmy Butler. So, like, when it came to the Miami Heat run, because you said it's an anomaly, they had an amazing run for 3 years. That's a lot of time for a franchise and a player. So it can't really be an anomaly if they did it 3 times and beat very, very, very good teams. When you look at those Heat years with Jimmy Butler, who was you said that they didn't have an offense besides Jimmy, but then they beat the Bucks, they beat the Celtics twice actually, and they beat all these other teams. You don't think they can do the same thing with same personnel with Giannis?
That same personnel is not there. Like,
stay where you at. But listen to what Riddell is saying. That personnel that was there wasn't all that great offensively. You agree, right?
Yes. And if
you are now getting an offense that is comparable to that one, which is the not great, not decent, with a far better offensive player on the unit. How do they not get better?
if you are counting on those runs, I'm sure it's an anomaly. If you are counting on
It's not
whatever
an
version,
anomaly. They did it multiple years. It's
It
not
can't be an
anomaly,
anomaly, bro. They
It's
did.
not an
add the
anomaly.
context. Add the context. I'm one of the
Different
people.
context.
What's the context?
If Jason Tatum doesn't roll his ankle at the start of Game 7, Miami Heat blow a 3-0
Mhm.
lead. They
What?
blow that. They blow that lead.
What?
They blow it.
What?
I don't understand. I don't understand at that point. I don't understand how we're just if we're asking for 2 Jimmy Butler super runs to the finals, which I just don't think we should be able to count on those. That's
From
what
Giannis Antetokounmpo,
you shouldn't be fucking relying on those.
We're not
I
talking
shouldn't
about-
rely-
we're
I
not
shouldn't have to
talking about
rely
what
on-
we should.
I shouldn't
We're not talking about what should happen. We're not
Oh
talking.
my
That's not what we're
God.
talking about.
So when the same shit happens next year, Giannis, never mind. Because at this point, it doesn't matter. Y'all picking. I'm just saying nothing changes. Nothing. If that's what you're counting on, whoever the new Spruce is for them starts balling out. Okay, so Wallace starts fucking scoring 30 points off threes. Or whatever the fucking guy's name is that Gabe brought up. Unless you're counting on that guy to literally put up offensive numbers he's never put up before in the playoffs, and that's what's going to help you go to the finals. That's dumb. That's dumb to me.
We watched that shit happen for 3 years in a row with different players.
Yeah, we did.
You're now watching the same situation. Well, obviously this is not hypothetical, but you will be watching the same situation unfold with a not slightly better, a drastically better offensive piece in Giannis.
And he can't do it all by himself.
He doesn't have to.
The other
Nigga,
people.
he won't have
So
to.
what's Kaysen whatever or Davion Mitchell, he's gonna have to score more. You trust in him offensively in the playoffs to score enough to match Giannis? That's what we're talking about now.
Well, I could trust.
Hey, if Gabe Vincent could do it, Davion Mitchell could do it. I'm being honest.
It's not the
replicate that.
It's not the same type of player. 1 and 2. Davion, I could from what I saw this year, right? Obviously, I'm hoping on a hypothetical, and I'm hoping that he'll be able to keep the same output. But if Giannis is on the team, I could trust Davion Mitchell to be able to make 1 or 2 moves and score. He did that this year for us. Now with worse players on the team. Davion Mitchell, when he came to our team, literally had the best offensive output he's ever had in his own.
Gabe, how's their cap space? Can they sign anybody this year?
No. We're stuck in the cap, but if we trade for Giannis, we'll still be there. But I'm fine with that because it's Giannis, bro.
Okay, I was just asking. I didn't know if you had cap
space. It's literally like any way you spin it, bro. It's an upgrade no matter what. We'll get better. And I hear Random's point as to I guess we'll be stuck in the same spot. But like if there's any time that you can succeed going into next year that isn't for sure, it's next year because the Celtics are down. Like they're Cleveland, nobody believes in Cleveland. I don't want to hear nothing about that shit.
Still better.
I believe in Cleveland. I like D Mitch.
Yeah,
third best shooting guard. Come on, man.
Like they can beat all the I don't see why they can't beat any of those teams with Giannis.
I think D Mitch is ass.
I think Giannis is. I don't like.
So, Random, is your point that they won't be a contender, or
no? They will not be.
Okay, so like, if the point that if I'm in this argument would make is they would be better than the Bucks, would you agree to that?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay,
but the thing is, y'all are making it seem. Y'all are making it seem like I'm saying that they're going to be in the fucking lottery. No, they're just going to be.
Said they're going to lose in the first round. Like,
yeah. They're going to lose. They're not good enough offensively. I don't know how many times I have to say it. Where's their offense coming from? We don't even know.
Bro,
Giannis cannot. Once again, Giannis cannot.
I'm gonna run down the East. I don't want to reiterate the same thing and go in a circle. I already
Giannis not scoring 60 a night, bro.
Like,
tell me where their offense is coming from.
Are they capable of beating the Magic?
Yeah.
Are they capable of beating the Pistons?
Maybe.
Are they capable of beating the Hawks?
Yeah, but the Hawks
are they capable of beating the Pacers?
No. I believe
Are they capable of beating the Celtics in the series next year with no Tatum?
No.
With no Tatum?
No, they're not beating the Celtics.
What a worse Drew Holiday, a worse KP, no Tatum, a Jaylen Brown led offense.
Where's their offense coming from besides Giannis? I've asked that multiple times.
No, boss, shut the fuck up. Are you telling me that? Shut the fuck up. Are you telling me a Jaylen Brown led offense is gonna be better than Giannis?
They'll beat him.
Answer the question.
Yes, they will be better. Yeah,
Okay.
that Boston team will send them. Why all of a sudden we thinking the Miami Heat are this great team?
Okay.
What are we doing here?
I'm asking you.
What are we doing
dead.
here?
We've seen them beat the team. Random. You understand that we've seen probably a worse iteration of the Heat beat the Celtics team. KP?
Am I tweaking?
Okay. So hold on. I just saw Tyrese Halliburton and the Indiana Pacers send fucking Giannis home, but all of a sudden we're just disavowing that for some
They
reason.
can't guard.
Dog shit, Random.
Guard.
They can't score. They can't score. They cannot
Also,
score.
Damian Lillard got injured. To be fair,
The thing is, Random. Not only can they not score, the team
wanna
has
add context, add that
has
James Harden
no
first.
defense. There's no defense on the Bucks.
Okay. Tell me, besides Giannis, where the offense comes from. Tell me.
Where did the
Tell me
offense come from
besides
for the
Giannis.
Bucks?
Nigga, I know. I already said that Miami's better. Tell me besides Giannis on the Miami Heat where the offense comes from.
If the situation keeps Tyler Hero,
against them.
If the
Tyler
situation
Hero.
keeps Tyler Hero, Tyler Hero.
If they give up Bam,
Tyler
they
Hero
keep
get
Tyler
locked
Hero.
up by Naismith. What are we doing?
Oh my god.
All right.
Yeah, bro.
So no matter what we,
hold on.
no matter what we say,
Hold
there's
on,
no way to-
hold on.
So no matter
All
what we say, there's just no way to.
No. This is just a horrible matchup for y'all. So Naismith, who was giving Jalen Brunson problems, and we all know. Can we all
It
agree
wasn't
that
even
Jalen
Nisman
Brunson was a
guarding
better
Jalen
player?
Brunson. It was Nemhard, but okay.
Okay, so they have Nemhard for him. Can we all agree that Jalen Brunson's a better player than Tyler Hero? Can we all agree with that?
Yes.
Repeat that.
How are we if Nemhard was giving Jalen Brunson problems, all of a sudden Tyler Hero's going to be the guy?
Because he'll have Giannis.
Because one, we don't play ISO heavy basketball. That's for one. We don't do that. We don't play ISO heavy basketball. So that's one.
Okay, so chalk it up. If Giannis gets traded to the Heat are going to the finals. Chalk it up. That's what I'm hearing now.
That's not what niggas.
crazy.
That is not what
That
niggas
is
said
crazy.
at all. That's
Sure,
not.
bro, that's definitely
That's
what
not
I
what was
said.
said at all.
Sure, bro,
Once
that's
again,
definitely what I said.
so Nemhard, who was giving a far superior offensive player work, cannot guard Tyler Hero.
And an isocentric level, isocentric systemology, yes, but we don't do isos. And the person that's gonna run isos for us isn't Tyler Hero. So what the fuck is we talking about?
Niggas gonna run Tyler Hero ISOs with Giannis on the court.
Yo, I'm looking at the regular.
What?
I'm looking at the regular season series between the Heat and the Pacers. He's saying like, oh, Naismith is gonna lock him up. 21, 17, 28, 29. What are we talking about? Like they didn't lock Hero up all season.
Okay, what was the season?
Like
series,
the argument for the Pacers.
No,
being
you're saying no.
locking
Lonnie,
up
what
is
was
so
the
crazy.
season series?
It was 3-1 Pacers. You're saying that they're gonna lock up Hero. You're saying
Oh
they're
my
gonna lock up Hero.
Nigga, they lost 3 of them. What are we doing?
29 and
They
21.
lost.
Bridgette, what are we doing? What are we doing right now?
I think no, that's disingenuous because we didn't have what you call it. There was a point where there was no Jimmy or whatever. That's not. It's not.
No. I'm saying
It's
he's
not-
like, oh,
it's
Naismith's gonna lock Hero up. He scored 28 one game and 27 the other.
And he lost.
Why?
And
Why
he
is
lost
the
all of
argument
those.
for the Pacers their defense, bro?
You're all right. Now you're
fuck are
arguing
we
two different
talking
things,
about?
Brandon. We're not talking about winning or losing. We're talking about locking up a player. Like, oh, they locked.
This
They
nigga
locked
random
up
think
Jalen
that.
Brunson.
He think the Pacers is OKC.
Like, what do you-
nigga.
I never said that.
That's what you just said.
I never
Who
said
did you
that.
say that they
What
locked
did I
up?
say?
Who did
saw
you say
Giannis
they
Lonnie,
locked
Lonnie,
up?
tell me where I said. Lonnie,
an
tell me where I
ass
said the
offensive
Pacers are
personnel.
OKC. Tell me where I fucking
Ezzy,
said.
you see,
Okay.
random. Here's the
Random.
problem.
Okay,
Random.
bro.
Here's the problem with you.
Like,
You
bro,
think that
what are you
words
talking
have to be said? You think somebody has to say the
Y'all are
exact
acting
thing?
like. Y'all
Nigga,
are
it's
acting
what you're
like.
saying.
No, you listen to what you're saying. Y'all
The
are acting like
Pacers
the
are some defensive.
and
like,
the Heat are
giant
not
of
this
a
offensive
team.
dynamo. The Heat are not this
I
offensive
just said.
dynamo.
I just said.
we're not saying they
28,
are.
you're saying that,
That's
oh, they're
not
gonna
what we're
lock him
saying
up.
in the slightest.
That makes no sense. So Tyler Hero
No
scoring
one
28
said that
and
not
getting
one
locked up.
time that they're going to be some offensive dynamo. No one said that.
Tyler Hero this year showed you that he could be. That
Nigga said they're going to be a prolific defense.
Tyler Hero showed you that he could
No,
be
you're
one of the
telling me
best
that
off-ball
him
players
scoring
in the league.
27 is him getting locked up.
Look,
That's crazy.
Look, this is how I see it, right? This is how I
It's
see
so
it. I think-
crazy that all three of y'all jump in, not listening to what I'm saying.
I'm hearing you, bro. I'm hearing you.
Show me.
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you.
No,
I'm
no.
hearing
Show
you.
me.
I'm
No,
hearing you.
once
hearing
again,
you,
Lonnie,
bro. I'm
Lonnie.
hearing you.
Once
I'm
again,
hearing
show
Everybody
me
hears you.
consistently
I'm hearing you.
because y'all are acting like
I said 28, 27, 21.
Lonnie.
Look.
Please, I don't want to fucking scream.
You just
but
told me to
listen
show
me.
you. I showed
Listen
you.
to me. Listen, fucking God. Just listen. They get Giannis. We've already established that besides when they get Giannis, either Bam or Tyler Hero is going. Either Bam or Tyler Hero is gone.
Correct.
So even then, but plus all the other assets. You don't have spacers. You don't have spacers, and I'm sorry. And Tyler Hero is not guarding anybody on the defensive side of the ball.
Okay.
But
So
you
guess
have
what?
so many other
hold on,
defenders
hold
other
on,
than
let him
Tyler
get
And
it
they'll
off.
take advantage of him.
Hold on,
They'll
let him
take
finish
advantage
his
of him.
Nigga,
No matter
that's
where he's
literally
at.
every basketball team in the NBA has somebody that for the most part can be taken advantage
Not
of.
with-
You think Tyler Hero being a mismatch for a series is going to just automatically make them lose? Him?
Besides Tyler Hero and Giannis, there's nobody else.
Davion Mitchell, Khalil Ware. These are
Khalil
what are
Ware.
you talking about?
None of you have ever talked about Khalil Ware being this offensive dynamo. So he's going to be this offensive dynamo all of a sudden. That's what we're talking about.
Defense.
No.
Defense.
He has to score too, Miles. He has to play.
The nigga has Giannis after the fucking
So fellas. No. Oh my God. I don't understand why we're still doing this. Just because he has Giannis does not mean just because he has off does not mean he just scores 0 points and they're fine. He also has to score the basketball also.
He can get what, 6? That nigga don't gotta score with Giannis Antetokounmpo and Tyler Hero on the floor with Duncan Robinson spacing. Like, what are you talking about? There's so many other niggas there are so many niggas ahead of Khalil Ware in the scoring ladder that we should even be talking about.
And they're on
having to go get a bucket.
And besides Duncan Robinson, most of them cannot be counted on to be consistent offensively.
And we saw comparable cast in the past beat the Celtics with a worse offensive player in Jimmy Butler. We've seen that.
Don't worry, y'all. Miami Heat are going to finals next year if they get Giannis. That's what you heard.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. You running off people not listening to you and you coming to that conclusion of what we're saying is crazy.
Y'all basically do the same thing to me.
You said they lose in the first round, and
I gave you my reasons why. You just didn't fucking like them. I gave you my reasons why.
They're not.
Keep on shifting the argument every time we prove your point wrong. You shift it again and again.
No, I didn't. You asked me who did it, and I told you exactly why. The Miami Heat. Once again, I'll say this: unless they play the Magic, the Hawks, or maybe the Pistons, they will not be good enough offensively to be a threat in the Eastern Conference. That is what I am saying.
Okay.
Random.
Hold on, Miles. Let me get this off. So you said that they would strap up. Here, I'm gonna go down the timeline. Don't cut me off. I'm gonna go down the timeline.
No, that's not the first thing I said. The first thing I said is that they're gonna have to give up an offensive piece, which would help.
Okay.
Fuck it. It's like you don't fucking listen, but you accuse me of not fucking listening. That's crazy. So, okay, congratulations. He scored 28. He fucking lost. And they're going to lose more assets to get Giannis, and they're still going to be in the same situation. Like, I don't understand this. I don't understand this at all. All of a sudden, y'all think the Magic or the Heat are going to be this Magic team. Just because they have Giannis does not mean that they're going to be true contenders.
Lonnie, before you go random, listen to me for a second, brother.
No, listen to me, but y'all asked me to
listen to me. No, just listen to me. I don't want you to listen and respond. Just listen to what I'm saying, brother. The Heat now and the Heat in their 3 years going to the conference finals. What supporting cast is better, today or then? You are allowed to answer.
Then was better. In my
then?
opinion. Yes.
Okay, fair. Who's better, Jimmy Butler or Giannis?
Giannis.
So you don't think that with a slightly... Now, mind you, the team that you're saying is better than with the worst superstar, they went on to beat the Celtics with Jason Tatum, except for one game. You are now telling me, do you think that the team now is significantly worse than the team from then?
In my opinion, yes, they are not a contender to me just because they have Giannis.
Nah, I'm not asking about a contender. Do you think they're significantly worse?
They're not significantly worse, but they're still worse in my opinion.
They're worse. Okay. And you agree Giannis is drastically better than Bam, right?
Yes.
So you're going to look me in my face and tell me that a team that had a worse superstar with a slightly better supporting cast is going to beat the full health Celtics, but a team with a drastically better superstar and a slightly worse supporting cast won't beat them without Tatum?
Yes, I believe the Celtics are winning that series.
And random, and when you say shit like that is why niggas say you're talking with your feelings and not with your mind, because that makes absolutely no sense. That doesn't make any sense. That literally does not make any sense.
We have never seen, again.
That does not make sense.
Just because they have until you show me exactly where all this offense is coming from. Because guess what? They have
didn't have it when they beat the full
listen.
Celtics.
It's been 3 years since then. The Miami Heat. I don't know how much. I don't know a lot of the Miami Heat, but I know they've lost. Gabe Vincent ain't there no more. What's the dude? He's in Cleveland now.
Gabe Vincent, Caleb Martin, they're not here no more.
They're not there anymore. So unless these guys are going to produce what those guys did, so that's what you're telling me. Though this new bunch of role players, Gabe, are going to produce the exact same way offensively that those guys did. That's what you're telling me.
In regards to the Celtics, to the Celtics, Drew Holiday is seemingly worse than he was 2 seasons ago.
I'm gonna let you stand on it.
Is a lot more brittle and not as good as he was 2 years ago. Al Horford is a lot older than he was 2 years ago. So the support, and we also don't have Tatum.
Random. Also take this into account. Let's say the supporting cast offensively has now dropped, because you said that they're both not that great, right? So let's say they dropped from a 6 to a 4. Defensively, this cast is better than that cast defensively.
And they're still losing because they're not going to be good enough on offense to count for the defensive, to make the defensive.
You'll have a far better defense and a far better superstar with a slightly worse offensive cast.
And I will say this, in my opinion, I understand the defensive jump. Their offensive deficiencies will negate that out. That's what I've been saying this whole time. Damn,
so
unless Davion Mitchell's going to start
talking like you top 15, Giannis.
No. So unless Davion Mitchell's going to start scoring and being great like Caleb Martin was.
Gabe Vincent was. Who do you think Caleb Martin was?
No, he was hooping in the playoffs.
Caleb Martin was playing on his body.
He literally helped beat your squad twice, but now all of a sudden I don't know who he is.
Random.
Random.
To be fair,
I'm being a little
stat watcher. Davion Mitchell did average 15 in the playoffs with no Giannis.
He had like, that's what I said earlier. He had it like it's, which is obviously why I'm banking.
Caleb Martin average.
He wasn't on our team this year, but I'm banking.
In
the playoffs, he it doesn't matter what he averaged. He played way above his regular.
Way above.
He shot
what he was.
Our role players played out of their mind in the playoffs. Random is correct in saying that. My point is that now with Giannis on the team, I don't see that they're gonna need to play to that standard to get out of the first fucking round, bro. Look, the point is, the East to me is not that stacked anymore to get out the first round to where you need a top 10 offense to be able to get out the first round, bro.
I never said you needed a top 10 offense.
I never said you did. That's what I think. You don't need that.
Okay.
You don't need that, bro. You don't need that.
I just never mind. I'm just gonna be quiet. We've set our lines here. If we're expecting that kind of bench, because the bench has to score, they're not good enough offense. We can all agree on that. The Heat are not good enough offensively, and if you're relying on that same type of explosion, I just think you're wrong. If you're relying on that, I just think you're wrong.
Random Magic versus Bucks first round. Who wins? Magic versus Heat first round. Who wins?
Magic versus Heat. The Heat do, but they only win because they have Giannis.
There we go. They can pay to pass the first round.
But okay. So this is what I'm saying. But this I guess this is why depending on the matchup that they have, they lose in the first round. So if they end up playing the Hawks or the Magic, they win. I don't think with Giannis on the team they can convincingly beat the Pistons. In my opinion, they'll win, but maybe they'll win in 7. They're not good enough, in my opinion, to beat the Celtics, the Cavs, or the Pacers with Giannis on the team, because we don't know the rest of their makeup. Plus, we didn't even talk about their cap situation, which is bad. We didn't talk about all that. We're just assuming that they're going to be able to replace everything that they're going to give up for Giannis. Because guess what? If Rudy Gobert went for 5 firsts in players, that's where they're starting at for Giannis. Like, what are we doing? We're acting like they're just giving. What?
You're saying they can beat like half the playoff teams, but they can't get out the first round at the same time?
I said they can beat 2 playoff teams. I said 2.
You just said they can't.
You just said
beat
3.
4.
Huh?
You said they couldn't beat the Pistons, they couldn't beat the Celtics, they couldn't beat the Pacers, and they couldn't beat the Cavaliers.
He did know. To be fair, he did say if they did beat the Pistons, it would be a 7-game series. So it's like
there's 3 teams he said they cannot beat, and they can beat every other team. That sounds like they're getting past the first round to me.
Yeah, we're good.
So
we're good.
Okay, so what seed do you project this Miami Heat team to be with Giannis?
I'm not moving the
Could be a
goalposts
top
talking
5
about
seed,
seeding.
bro.
We don't even got to get
I don't
down
care.
that road.
They're not-
As long
they're
as
not-
we
Top
all
5
agree
seed.
they can get past the
That's
first
the
round.
playoff, like
Because
the
you agree
playoffs
they can get
isn't-
past the first round.
Yeah.
You literally said there's only 3 teams they can't beat.
Like seeding in the East literally doesn't matter. They could be easily a top 5 seed.
Them teams be one in, it don't matter.
It don't matter.
Niggas be a couple games apart. We good. You only said there's 3 teams they really can't beat definitively. Them niggas are getting past the first round.
I've said all I need to say. We'll just see now.
W. That's some good NBA talk right there. Appreciate it. Shout out. We'll see how everything kind of plays out. By the time we're back, it might be 2-0, 3-0. I will say this before we move into talk about the top 10 running backs. I always have to get this off because I'm a hater. Rudy Gobert still sucks, and Timberwolves got cooked.